Hello gamers, it's the king of the white beaters here, Ematix, and today we're going to be watching a VoD review, and it looks like we're plat 1 in last act, and it's going to be on Icebox here in a second. I'm just going to fast forward to it, and we're going to be looking at some Reyna gameplay. So let's just fast forward to this, right, boom, here. And we're going to be looking, if we just look at the teams, obviously you guys have a very shit comp compared to their team, which has a slightly better because they have a couple more support characters in there, right? We don't have any smokes. On Icebox, in matchmaking games, honestly, I'm not totally unopposed to not running smokes, but I'm definitely unopposed to running 4 duelists, okay? So yeah, so like this is going to be really hard. I can already tell from this game. I mean, you guys could win this for sure. It's platinum. It's not the end of the world. This is going to be platinum level elo. It's not going to be totally impossible to win this, but it's just going to be a little bit harder. So let's fast forward here to the pistol round. If you guys can tell, we are looking at 4-3 cross to our screen res. Right, that's why we have the black bars here. Very unfortunate. So actually, like, what I would always recommend, right, like, is for you to peek down B long, right? Just get that early info. If you do see them, right, if they're good enough and they do spot you, like, you want to be able to spot them so you can call for maybe an early rotation. But if they don't come there, you can just tell your teammates to stay towards A. Now, if they were really smart, they would be like spot someone towards B, trying to like work it, or at least look to see if you're there, peeking them, and then they just fucking fall back in order to maybe bait out a rotation. So you also have to keep that in mind, right? If they're over contesting and they're trying to push up, I would definitely call for a rotation. But if they are not, if they're just kind of jiggling you, just trying to peek you and trying to kill you, and then he doesn't, the other person doesn't do that for like a while, it's probably just a guy trying to bait out rotations. But this is plat level, so again, I wouldn't expect that much. But it's just something to keep in mind for when you get further into the ranking system, a higher elo. Yeah, so okay, I like the idea. You're trying to like flash across, but let's try to use our utility, not just to slow them because we only have one flash, but to do something with it, right? The worst thing we can do is just throw utility just to throw it and not use it or capitalize on it, right? There's sometimes where you can just use utility for like a different purpose, right? Like to sell a fake, like you're going one way or something like that. But in this situation here, we kind of like all our teammates are here besides like the Phoenix. Like we want to cause distractions eventually and just be able to like your flash, using it when you guys are going to push in to distract, is probably your best bet. So boom, double flash. So this is the perfect example of just throwing utility and not doing anything. No one's using it. You didn't call, hey, let's push it with my eye. You're not pushing in with your eye, right? Nothing's really going on with this eye here. It's just there, and that's it, right? Like.
And then I blew that shit up on her face.
Spike planted. One enemy
So let's just
remaining.
So when you see your Sage running up here, right, I would try to like get ready to run in as well. Just kind of chilling in the back and letting everyone else run in first. Like your Jet ran in first, right? Obviously, I think she might have gotten one and died right up here, but like she ran in, no one else ran in, right? Sage runs in, you don't run in. Your Raze kind of runs in, and you're still back here. You're still at step 1, right, of the retake system. Like step 2 would be running with your teammates. Step 3, getting the kills. Step 4, hopefully winning the game, winning the round. So now we're going on to step 2 right here, and you get doinked in the fucking head by the fucking frenzy. So again, like when people push in, let's try to push in together. And obviously it's not just on you, it's also on your teammates to call out when they are pushing in. But being able to read what your teammates are doing and the timing when to do it, like let's say your Jet runs in on the rafters, there's no way you can trade her, right? She's too far ahead from everyone else. But when your Sage runs in, because she was right next to you, 10 times easier to trade out than the Jet. And you should be trying to like scale with your teammates and pushing up.
There's maybe, but
a frenzy with light armor and then a flash. He was just like shitting on 2D. And I'm like, yeah, energy win, baby.
hey again.
You got balls. You smoke this shit.
Wait, hold on. How much money did you have?
With light armor and then a flash. And he was just like shitting on 2D. And I'm like, yeah, and
You have 3,000. You should always be getting full armor whenever you can, right? So 1,000, 2,000, 2,400, 500. You'll have 500 left over. Yeah, like getting full armor like could be the difference between you getting your first kill to overheal and not, right? There are some times when you can do light armor, right? Like let's say you lost pistol round, right? And you want to force up because you are arena, you can force up. I'm definitely not opposed to arena forcing up because one, as a duelist, you want to be taking battles, and two, as arena, you can self heal a lot. So but like you buying light shields here, like you should be buying heavy shields whenever you win the pistol round because you want to guarantee the next round win as best as possible. And getting light shields, right, slightly reduces your chances of winning that round. So again, we don't want to do that. Like this is a problem I see a lot in lower levels, and anyone that's seen my VoD reviews before will know that I say this all the time, and that is people just love when they win pistol round and not full buying, and because of that they lose those fucking second rounds, and it propels the illusion that they just have to keep half buying because they know they're gonna lose it, instead of, hey, maybe if we all full bought we probably win these rounds.
balls. You smoke this shit? Nah, never mind, we got it.
So let's just look at your crosshair placement. This is just something I want to emphasize here that you're not consciously thinking about, and subconsciously you don't have it down yet, and that is keeping your crosshair at headshot level. We want to keep it there most of the time because let's say if this jet was an enemy, in order to hit her head you would have to flick up, right? But if you already kept it at crosshair or headshot level, which would be right here, you would have to do like a minor flick, and as we can tell, the minor flick is a less distance than the major flick here, and it's just less variable for you to miss your shot, and it's faster for you to kill them that way, right? That's why we want to keep our crosshair at headshot level, because we want to kill them as fast as possible, and aiming it at the toes, the body, the butt, right, the stomach, all don't, the time to kill is longer, significantly longer than just shooting them in the head.
I'm good for one at least, hopefully.
Feeling safe. Spike planted.
Phoenix has
So again, we're running out through a smoke, right? And obviously, even if the smoke was still here, you were still going to die, because for some reason you see your Phoenix up there, but he's not looking here, right? Obviously, there's an angle that he cannot see, and this is the angle the Sova is obviously playing, right? If you're going to throw a flash, it's fine to throw it in front of you up in the sky, but you have to kind of throw it more at an angle that can get as many people as possible. If you were to throw it more to the right here, you would get just as many people as if you were to throw it to the left, if not more, because then you get the off angles behind you, right? So that is just something to keep in mind when you throw your flashes before you run in. And also throw the flash from safety first and then run in. And like obviously the smoke dissipated, so just make sure are aware of the timings of the smokes, right? In your head, Omen smokes last 15 seconds, Brim smokes last 20, and then Viper orb can last 25, or whenever she decides to cut it off. So that's just your general time frame and a rough estimate you need to keep inside your head. Let's skip through this. We don't care about this.
Alright, there's no fucking possible way they go A again, right?
Maybe.
It's all A and mid on Icebox.
Hey Ray, be on top of box.
I feel like half these golds are actually fucking golds, bro. Here I am, fucking plat 2, playing with golds.
I'm a better gold though. I'm not even gold to be honest.
Yes. Ego for some reason.
I haven't played since like the first competitive rank.
Good shot.
Venus and Amy.
Good spray control. Oh, that is very unlucky timing right there. And that is why you have to be careful when you keep your eyes off of a certain area, right? So like if you're going to run across here, run back here for some reason, you should be looking towards long instead of looking where you want to go. Because if you look where you want to go, you should know it's clear because you have a Phoenix and a Jet mid, right? But they can obviously just peek you long whenever. So that's just something to be careful about. But honestly, those rounds, these 2 kills here, very, very clean kills it looked like to me. Like spray control looked pretty good.
What was your first?
Yeah, then I went from bronze to plat to like maybe.
That's your first time getting plat, right?
Yep.
Let me tell you this.
Need a drop.
I'm a first edition.
Jump by me, please.
Crazy rip.
Thank you.
What that means is when they added
I got you, homie.
data,
Yeah, I almost caught a stinger.
then I never played again.
Joke's over! You're dead!
And if anyone ever talks like this in your games ever again, you just gotta remember, like in your head, you gotta think like they're fucking god awful.
Flashed.
Spike planted.
Because good players
What,
are not gonna be in this rank,
7.
I'm gonna try to go on that.
unless they're Smurf, obviously. But these guys are talking about being in like gold and plat. Like there's no.
Feeling sight. You disappoint me.
Yo, Phoenix behind you, bro. 2 of them are behind.
Okay, 2 of them are behind, right? In your head, you should be thinking to yourself, oh, 2 of them are behind. Let me just tap the bomb and just make this super easy because the bomb is not planted for them, right? You can literally get on the bomb right here, tell your Jet, yo, Jet, cover me, or if you have smoke, smoke on top of me. And this is kind of learning how to direct people in order to get the win, right? The round win, right? Either you tell the Jet, yo, smoke and get on bomb, right? Or smoke me off and I'll get on bomb, get it half and then peek. But we know they're both behind. It's not planned for them. They have to run up. Right, and they have to run up specifically this way. They go this way, you are still protected by this green box, right? So now, like, this is something you have to recognize in the moment, right? The situation that is not very favorable for them, and the only way you can really give them the round win is if you push and try to fight them instead of forcing them to come to you.
What the fuck?
One enemy remaining.
Yo, you walked right past 2 of them.
Dude, I checked that whole shit.
Excellent. So your Jet got on the bomb, perfect, right? And you kind of covering. As soon as you get this kill on this Omen, right? The last thing you need to do is over wide peek like this. I think your Jet would be able to win the round still because this guy only has a sheriff and he would have to come across the zip line or jump down, and those are a lot of sound cues for him to win. Because if he doesn't do that, this guy doesn't do that. If he were to possibly kill you, then he would the Jet can just stick, right? But let's say you were to die. And he would just, come across, then the Jet would obviously have to get off. And hopefully she gets it halfway before she gets off. But as I'm saying before, like, you, like, kill this guy and then just kind of, like, play your life. There's only one way he can kill your Jet, unless he knows, like, some really sick shock darts. But it looks like they're on an eco round, and he probably is not going to waste that. And that is by you just dying. And then him just running up, right?
Nice.
From the bottom.
So again,
And then after that,
we always want to try to make it as hard as possible for the other team to win the round and make it as easy for us to win the round.
Yeah, I know, and I cleared all that shit too.
Get out of my
I don't
way.
know what the fuck. That's weird, bro. That just blew my mind.
He's a ghost.
So again, this isn't a really good spot to play in, right? It's really close. If they were to peek at the same time, if they were to peek at the same time, right, 2 people, and they were able to shoot you, you might die, right? And you might not be able to dismiss in time because of the animation time. But this could be a really bad spot. But the good thing about Reyna is that you can get out of these good spots as long as you get the first guy, right? And if they're not playing properly and not trading out properly, then it's very, very easy to punish these players. And this is exactly what you can do in the plat level bracket, is just punish these guys, right? For not playing proper, Valorant, right? With the fundamentals having them down. You also have to be careful when you peek around like this, right? You are closer to the angle, so unless he's just as close as you, he's going to be seeing you faster, right? If he's further back, he will see your body slightly faster. It's not going to be a lot faster, but slightly faster, giving him a little bit more time to react to you, okay? So whenever you peek these angles tight like this, you have to be very careful, and it's either you jiggle across, or if you have to use utility, right, to peek them, right? And as Reyna, you would probably throw flashes. As Jet, you would probably get ready to dash, right? But if you don't want to do that, like, again, jiggling and slowly clearing, cutting these into pizza slices and just peeking it slowly, slowly but surely, is your best bet. So we heard the Phoenix. Phoenix just flashed. I'm fine with that dismiss. That's a good dismiss. Get out of there because we don't know how many more there are. Good decision making. Gotta be faster. Well, you try to shoot the arrow, right? But gotta be faster on trying to shoot those, right? We do not want to give him as many pings as we can because then he knows a certain part of the map is clear. If he was to push in, he would know, okay, my arrow lands here, it clears this, this, this. It won't be able to clear this, right?
Spike.
Sova is droning it right now.
I gotta reload.
Yeah,
Can you
spike.
I
for
see
me?
the spike.
I gotta reload. I need.
Reloading.
Sova and Domin, I think, are pushing in,
Yes,
but they don't have spike.
Again, very risky peek. You just kind of walk in the many different angles here. Close left, deep by the other entrance, close right, and then right here in this corner. This is where I was just talking about cutting into pizza slices and kind of taking your time and just clearing and jiggling, right? And if obviously you get contact because someone's at a further angle and they see you first, back up and don't take that fight or flash and try to kill them with, while they're flashed. Thankfully, you guys are still able to win that round.
The worst
I'm all-
accuracy in the fucking game would still make it to the highest rank.
I'm all gun versus ability.
Yeah, bro, how do you think Dicey got to be on those teams? Nice.
There's only one.
A again?
Reloading.
They say it's A again.
Yep. Well, one at least.
One me. Two me.
Cutting their vision.
Dude, like 4 fucking people just sitting mid.
So who the fuck ever plays here?
There's like 2 that close left.
Kitchen already?
Kitchen.
So, I just want to talk about map awareness here, and this is something you don't see in a lot of lower levels, right? And this entails being aware of what's open on the map, right? And so we have a lot of people mid, right? So we know mid is fine, but the one thing is, no one's peeking deep mid until look into tube, right? So as you're rotating over here, someone should be calling this, right? They could go into tube, but if you want to be a better player than these guys, you should call it out for them, right? Because you want to be the best, right? So you got to be calling, hey guys, be careful, kitchen's open. They could have walked up tube, no one was spotting it, right? And that's why it's very important to look at the minimap, and you should always be constantly checking the minimap for any positional changes that your teammates might not make, right? In order to kind of fill in the gaps on where the enemies could be at.
They're going A.
They're going A. They're going A. Go back A. I just saw Spike just go A.
So one guy across the zip.
Spike planted.
This is a good opportunity. Oh, okay. I like this. I really like this play right here. If you were just to push in like this, underneath this guy and isolate this bomb carrier, because I don't think you've heard anyone else come across. So this might be the perfect opportunity. That's one. That's not him. Or that is him. One more up there. Who's that? Phoenix. That's unlucky. So that was. Let's kind of just take it a little bit slower here and see what could have been the problem here. It might have been, bad crosshair placement or maybe an overflick or a bad flick. So let's just play this. Take it a little bit slower. There was one more guy in nest. Boom. Okay, and so we start shooting right before we stop moving, and so this causes our bullet to go off, and then our crosshair is not on him yet, right? We bring it over, and we do hit him once. Okay, yeah, it looks like you just hit him once, and that's kind of the result, right? That is why you didn't win that battle there. And that, again, it's just, some premature shooting. Crosshair wasn't on him entirely yet. We got to recognize that. We shouldn't start shooting until we stop moving, until our crosshair's on him. And then you corrected it, right? But again, he just was able to headshot you, and that's kind of what happens. Not the end of the world, but, maybe a little something to work on and think about when you are practicing your aim.
Well, I don't know where he is now.
No, dude, you're good that.
Skip through this.
Right there, look at him.
We're here
Right there.
'cause we're
He said he doesn't.
ADSing, the bullets follow your crosshair instead of you having.
I never seen that follow my crosshair. Every time I
Joke's over.
Your
You're dead.
ADSing, yes, follows your crosshair.
Follows mine.
Only the ADS on the Spectre follows the crosshair. I'm 90% sure.
Dude, you're supposed to take that, man. I don't know why you're pulling back so hard.
Cutting their vision.
Bruh, what do you want me to do? Rush down a guy like you?
Oh, cool, Frank.
Spike planted.
Okay, so we do know there's a majority of them on site. Nice.
Stealing sight.
Almost.
One enemy remaining.
He's on the other.
He's in back yet.
Okay, not the end of the world. So that was pretty good shots. Again, I think mechanically, when it comes to aim right now, you seem pretty good.
But it follows your crosshair as well.
Hey, yo, bro, you should give me his number. Hey, yo, bro, you should give me his number.
I'm not gonna be up front in their face 24/7. Man.
You don't have to be. It still follows your crosshair.
In their
Of
spawn.
course, there's a fucking kid just sitting in the spawn.
So again, we come into the same situation, right? If we look at the minimap, like there's no reason for you to overly focus like on your crosshair. Like if you're just looking here right now, like in your head, like you were just looking here the entire fucking time, there's no real reason to, right? And there's a couple reasons for that. One, you should always be checking your minimap, and two, right, you should know what your jet sees. Your jet can see the under tube right here. And so you don't really need to focus. You can be looking at your minimap. It would be like, oh shit, my jet's not peeking deep mid, so they can easily just walk across the tube and flank me, right? And so if you were doing that in the first place, you would reposition yourself maybe to kitchen, to peek tube and push tube possibly, right? Or just peek and hold tube and getting ready to rotate off of either the Raze getting contact or your Sage getting contact.
Valid, baby.
But trust me, when our jet's watching this, and for some reason you're so focused on this, I don't know why. I just want to stress how important that is. So we were there for a few extra seconds longer, and in this game, timing is everything. So if someone would have timinged up too for some reason, easily could have killed you, could be up here listening to you, jumping around, and because of that,
Last kid was in the back of the spawn with an eye.
yeah, could have timing you and killed you. That's just it could be unlucky timing, right? But again, if we were aware, we can cancel these timings out.
Alright, now we just W.
It's all the way back there.
Alright, where are they gonna go, though? Oh, they just got, like, completely destroyed.
Then they're gonna surrender.
I don't think they're gonna go there.
They keep getting fucked up.
Good shot.
Spike mid.
Shot before you shot before you're set, so that's where your bullet went off. Otherwise, that could have fucked them up.
Cutting their
Oh my god. There are three there. They're both over there. Or except for Omen. Omen's mid. Ish. I don't know where exactly.
Could be close right. Your jet's covering it, right? So they won't be able to jump on top of you. So you just got to be maybe careful if someone comes close right and peeks you wide. That's the only thing you have to worry about in the situation.
Okay, so last two were B long.
I mean, it still could be close right, but I don't think so. Phoenix is there. I don't think the rain is there. Rain could be there, but I doubt it.
Right side. Front.
There's no way you push up here. There's no reason to.
One rotated and the other one's still B.
spike planted.
Nope, never mind. They're on it already.
How the fuck did you come through mid?
One enemy remaining.
Last one set. Probably under behind the bot.
I probably would have kept the op and just ran around with my pistol.
Now we're
That's what I would have done.
I like to use Phantom for like shit that's like really long range that I'm gonna include.
Yeah, sure.
But since I'm like usually like giving people kisses most of the time, I use Phantom. Mid?
One's in the tube. Two already in the tube. And see, again, that is just, you know, knowing what's going on. If they smoke mid, right? So this is what happens when you play at a higher level, is people will usually call out, hey, I can't see tube. They can go up tube, right? The raids will say, hey, I'm not holding tube even if she's not smoked off, right? Those are something you'll see at a higher level, but sometimes those are questions you need to ask at lower level, right? It's always good to ask questions. Yo, Raze, can they get in the tube, right? And then hopefully she responds, right? If she doesn't, unlucky. You kind of have to assume they could be in tube, but for the most part, like, you know, you gotta kind of play with it, because again, these people in this bracket are not the best, and they don't know that communication is very, very important, as well as map awareness and telling your teammates and feeding your teammates a picture on what's open and what's not open based on the area that you are in.
Kitchen.
One enemy planted.
By me. They went mid. I don't know what that would translate to. I'm gonna just say they're gonna go A.
Ooh, that's unlucky. He got the headshot. If one of those shots was head, that guy was dead. But let's kind of see if we can actually go back and look at that and see kind of what happened there. Boom, dodge the arrow. Again, I'm fine with. You come around. Okay, so first shot. Good thing touched them. Boom. Good control back down, but just none of those shots connected to the head, so that's just unlucky. Unlucky there, because I look really clean. I think like all like 4 out of the 5 shots connected.
You're dead.
How many bullets did you die with? Fuck, I didn't see. Eight. So half of the bullets you shot connected. So if one more of those 4 shots that misconnected, you get that kill. So it's just, and then that's just the ugly ass spray of the of this game. There's no spray pattern, so it's very hard to spray control sometimes. Let's skip this.
So let's
Yeah.
shoot at him.
Get out of my way!
Nothing.
I'm gonna just keep behind this dude.
I wouldn't flank. You already have one guy flanking. This Raze pushed through A, so you should probably assume the Raze is also going to flank. What you should be doing is coming over towards the B bomb site and just double securing it, because we all know that their majority of them are towards B. It could be a guy lurking somewhere, maybe it's like back A or in their spawn, but we should know that for the most part they are towards B, and we just don't want to, because it would suck if 3 of us flank and our 2 guys on B site died, right? Then we have no clue where they're at on B. They could push it through B, right, to our spawn, towards mid. They can go up a hallway in the kitchen to A. Like, they can do a lot of plays if these 2 guys die. So if our 2 guys on A, like if these 2 guys flanking die, I mean, yeah, we know that they could come back mid, they could come back A, right? But it's very, like, that's still their part of the map that, you know, we could have assumed that, you know, they're going to be on, right? But once they come in, and if they kill these guys and they push in through B, then it gets a lot trickier, because it's like, holy shit, there's so many spots they could be in compared to if they just fall back this way. And then that flash right there, that's like anyone that's paying attention on the other team to the minimap is a very clear indication that, hey, at least we know the Reyna is flanking.
Yo. Oh, you guys are all behind. They all put.
That's bad trigger discipline here. See, like, this is like horrible trigger discipline in my opinion. Like, I would see this, I would be like, okay, the Jet's right here. There's like, I only see this much of her body, right? And it sounded like she was up in the air, but like I would just see this much. I'd be like, okay, no one's looking at me. As long as she's not looking at me, I don't need to flick and try to kill her. I know that I could probably just walk up, because she didn't hear me fucking stomping around with my big ass elephant feet, and I can just probably sneak up and get a couple kills. You shoot though, then she should know. She still doesn't know. That guy saw though. Get 1 kill. Again, very clean shots.
Top yellow, back yellow, top yellow.
Alright, that was pretty good trigger discipline, trying to do 2-round bursts. I'm happy with that. But if you don't shoot that Jet, you guys have a better chance of probably securing this round a lot more easily. I don't know if you guys do secure it or not, but okay, you guys do. But it could have been very bad, you know? 2-on-2. Like, if you just sneak up and kill 2 of them, 3-on-1, very easy. Come to attack side. Pistol round, go with the ghost, send her by, fine with this, clearing your corners. I would like to say for the most part, your crosshair placement has been pretty high. I would say around head level, so I'm pretty satisfied with that for the most part.
Dude, behind you.
We know that the Reyna's inside the 2. She was in the 2. You dinked her. Did 87, so she probably has 13 HP because you have a ghost.
Oh shit,
Where the fuck is everybody at?
CT still?
W key.
One enemy remaining.
But everyone's stealing my kills.
Okay, very easy round. We don't throw this, right? Nope, we don't throw this. Okay. Very cool, very simple, quick, easy round.
5 body shots to
Trying to blow his fucking toes off.
bought full armor that round, I guess. Hit him for one with all those
You ain't
bullets.
finna walk again.
Feeling sight.
They stacked B. There's 3 B. Reyna, Jet, so.
Ouch.
Glocked it down with the stinger. All right, so when we're doing this, right? If you obviously you guys all got pinged, so they're gonna know you're there. You should be telling your team, hey, let's just go quick. They saw all of us. I would actually probably go up mid because we're probably gonna have better guns than they are, and we kind of want to use our. Or we'll have better guns. We'll have better util than they will, right? And if they upgraded or forced up like they did here, they're probably gonna have stingers, maybe shotguns, maybe marshals, right? But like again, we'll probably have specters and stingers and maybe a bulldog, right? So we should be using our superior guns as well as we should all be getting full utility. And full shields in order to secure this round. So the worst way we can do is try to go solo and try to get individual kills. But also I would say, hey guys, the ping saw us all, the radar recon dart, let's just run it mid to A, right? Instead of going to this tight corridor in tube and then coming up towards B where they can literally be in any fucking angle we don't know. Because again, for the most part, we're all bunched up here, and since we're bunched up, we should just be sticking together and going somewhere where it's very open and very easy to get picks with our better guns. Obviously, it's not impossible to come towards B. I'm just saying it'd probably be a lot easier if we went towards A. Like, for sure, you guys could come towards B, but when you come out here like this, like you just expose yourself to a whole bunch of angles, and they could know you guys are in 2 because they heard you stomping around, so they should be expecting you to come out from this angle anytime soon. A lot of people in this rank hesitate, so it could get a little scary, and that's what's happening.
Act rank. Gold 1 act rank.
People get scared.
We'll watch mid probably. They literally leave A open.
Let's just run up A.
easy headshots.
Nah, we're going mid. And we're gonna go
We all peek, they can't kill all of us.
Joke's over. You're dead.
People just don't love shooting darts right away.
Current division. Out of charges.
You should have overhill. I don't know why you dismissed there. That should have been a very easy overhill decision for you.
Oh, it's too fucking easy.
Yo, why is he looking at me of all people?
I headshot him once.
Yeah.
But another one fucking
I
mid.
have this back.
Underneath.
Oh, that's definitely another overhill.
Yo, just come with the spike.
Out of charges.
Could be at mid. Gotta be careful of your mid. Mid, be careful of A.
Player standing.
I think you definitely overhill on the Sova, right? And then you take what, 26 damage from the Reyna. I don't think you overhill on that. I think maybe dismissing to try to figure out where the Phoenix is at is fine. But if you don't take the overhill on the Sova, I think you have to take it on this Reyna here in order to get some HP. Because the more HP you have, the better chance you have of winning that round. And I don't think he's going to... If he does fight you, you have a better high ground advantage. And I think you probably win that, to be honest. But yeah, that's just my opinion there. You had to take overhill on one of these 2 kills. Obviously, I think on the Phoenix or on the Sova, but you could have, I think, taken it on the Reyna as well.
Bad call out, bad call out.
Yiker.
Just grab it. Just act.
They stacked it. I hear the
They play just like a damn fiddle.
Reload.
Good dismiss. Very quick dismiss.
Can't heal. Sorry, can't heal.
Why not?
Clean sight.
Another one
Don't
mid.
throw, don't throw.
Okay, you need to be hiding. All right, these three idiots right here all went and died. That's fine, but you should not be. Like, you got to just be playing time because you are way too low.
One flank.
And there's
One enemy
Last
remaining.
was flank. You dropped her, dropped her.
You have heal, you have heal.
Right now?
For you.
ooh scary, but it worked out. Nice.
Bro, this is like fucking E United versus C9.
So we know there's two here. You heard the orb and you saw the guy peeking on top. That's just something to keep in mind.
She's pushing up. Easy clap.
Cutting their vision.
93.
No one's with me. I'm gonna go with them. Sorry.
I think she.
For sure. Jet 93.
Bro, where's he at?
I said he dropped.
They know we're here, but he's
And then just did that first.
He did it to me. I don't want to.
Kill.
GG's, guys.
He did it to
Jet
me.
was
I
on
Lost,
already-
Jet was on A.
When did I do that to you? What?
When I pushed out kid, or I didn't push out. I was underneath kid, and he was behind.
Yeah, I was watching hallways.
He came out from kid.
I don't really know.
Might be kitchen. Or your
And that is game. All right, so nice easy 13-4, right? And obviously, these aren't some of the best VoD reviews to review, but we can still learn some things about you as a player from what we've seen, right? And I'm just gonna give a quick summary on what I saw. First one being just map awareness, right? And just being aware of what's going on your minimap. Where's everyone at? What are they looking at? What? And then by being able to understand, right? By what they're at and what they're looking at, what is open and what is not open, right? And I think that's your biggest thing. Don't tunnel vision too much on your crosshair because most of the time you're not going to be seeing people on your crosshair until they get really, really close. So again, in this level, you want to be asking questions. Yo, is this open, right? Because they're not going to tell you. For the most part, they don't know that they have to tell you what's open and what's not open, right? For some reason, it just hasn't clicked in people's head, right, at lower levels that you need to do that. So you have to start asking questions and trying to fill in the gaps in your own head because it's a good exercise for you to do because once you get to a higher level, you won't even have to ask for it. For the most part, they should tell you, and if you ever play on a team, they should be telling you. And as long as you know how to form this image in your head of what's open and what's not open, you'll be able to tell where they're coming from, right? And you can correctly deduce which areas of the map are they could hit just depending on where people's positions are, right? Very obviously. Secondly is I would say just IQ, right? Like just being smart about this, right? Like knowing when you're flanking and you see like a sliver of them, don't shoot at the sliver, right? Obviously that's trigger discipline, but again, that's just knowing, right? When you're flanking like this, the last thing you want to do is just make it very obvious that you're flanking, and just overshooting and giving away your position right away is never the best play. If they spot you, it's a different story. But that jet, you have to identify that jet's not looking at you, and you should know the correct course of action in that situation is to just not shoot, right? Walk up for as long as possible. Once your position's been given away, then go ahead and start fucking go guns a-blazing. I would say those are the two biggest points I can think of. I know I said a few other things, right? For the most part, I would say your crosshair was at headshot level, so that was pretty good. Your spray control looked pretty good, right? Mechanically, you look pretty sound. So I mean, you fucked up a little bit sometimes, but it's not the end of the world, right? Those aren't like it's gonna happen. Not everyone can play perfectly 100% of the time in all their games. But for the most part, I would say I'm pretty happy with how your spray control looks, right? But if you can start filling in that thinking portion of the game, right? From what I can tell, it would be a lot. This game's going to be really, really easy for you to go really, really far, all right? So this is going to conclude my VoD review. If you have any questions, anyone that has any questions, if you want one as well, you can message me on Twitter, Discord, Twitch, YouTube, Reddit, and that's about it. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.
Pokemon Mega Evolution, science, cockfighting.